Thank you, everyone. Your Excellencies, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, dear audiences, wherever you are watching and following us today, welcome to the EcoPeace Middle East Regional Annual Conference 2020. Over the past year, we have witnessed rising global challenges and encountered the continued troubles of our region. As other parts of the world, some of our big plans have been defied, and we have been forced to cope with uncertainties at all fronts, political, economic, and public health-wise. For EcoPeace, though, we seize every moment to push through our agenda and mission to convene and to deliver. Our sense of belonging together grew stronger, and our resilience and persistence brought us closer and closer to the people of our region and to our goals. Despite the horrors of the pandemic, it came as a wake-up call for humanity and an extra breath to our planet Earth. It brought us to an understanding that we all are in the same boat, that global solidarity and cooperation are not to be taken for granted. So as climate change, a global phenomenon that needs tailored collaborative approaches to prevent the worst of consequences. Climate crisis is often described as where the weak adaptive capacity of a state or a region to negative implications can threaten the very stability and national security interests. Yet, in the East, the small region torn by the conflict and where natural resources are already scarce, climate change can, in the contrary, be a multiplier for opportunities. Inspired by the Green Deal of both the US and Europe, EcoPeace outlines a proposal for a Green-Blue Deal for the Middle East, deeply exploring at the heart of these opportunities. A deal that gives additional emphasis on practical, feasible, and effective policy approach to an urgent challenge, and one that can serve to address conflict drivers and advance sustainable peace based on a two-state solution on 1967 borders. At our three-day conference, we will present and discuss how Israeli, Jordanian, and Palestinian political and civil society leadership, as well as private sector leaders, can take a proactive role and have a joint stance on fostering cooperation to improve water and energy security, promote public awareness and educational programs particularly directed towards youth, and engage in the development of region-wide investments in climate-smart initiatives and the creation of green jobs. Throughout our 26-year period, we were able to access and assess and witness what could actually help produce sustainability and shared prosperity. We have found the recipe for practical foundations towards a Green-Blue Deal for the Middle East. One of our priority interests is to promote for the sustainable development of the Jordan Valley. In 2015, EcoPeace Middle East released the first of its kind regional NGO master plan for the lower part of the Jordan Valley. We have worked extensively with our corresponding stakeholders to identify key priority projects in the sectors of water, sanitation, agricultural innovation, ecotourism, and renewable energy. If proposed projects are to be implemented by 2050, the valley will rise from a $4 billion to a $73 billion economy region-wide. In parallel, EcoPeace created a short-term strategy to work with the private sector and impact investors. We have identified a wide variety of projects connecting to climate adaptation, community resilience, and gender empowerment. Our projects include closed system fish farming, high protein grasshoppers breeding, solar, all led by and all very exciting to be revealed and presented today. It's our honor to be joined by our esteemed speakers and participants from the impact investment community from our region and internationally. Together, we will delve deeper into unlocking the potentials of the Jordan Valley's jewelry box. I'd like to extend our sincere thanks to the Swedish International Development Agency, Sida, and Konrad Adenauer Foundation, KAS REMENA, for their continued support and partnership throughout these many past years. Your belief and trust in our organization is our driving engine. We also extend our thanks to whoever came across our journey, shown interest, expanded our knowledge, told our story, and widened our prospects and outreach. We are equally grateful to our staff who have shown great leadership, creativity, and achieved wonders in 2020. Thank you again for your attentiveness. And on behalf of EcoPeace family, I wish you a pleasant participation.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite Her Excellency Jessica Olsson, the Consul General of Sweden, Jerusalem, to give her opening remarks, which will be directly followed by opening speech from Ms. Daniela Diggerman, Head of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, Regional Program of Energy, Security and Climate Change, Middle East and North Africa. Your Excellency, Jessica, the mic is yours, please.
Thank you so much, Rana, and thank you, EcoPeace, for inviting me to be part of starting your annual meeting this year. It's a pleasure, of course. We have been partners, EcoPeace in Sweden, for more than a decade. And I'm happy to say that in that partnership, we are trying to be as regional as you are, Gideon, Nada, and Jana. So during this conference, you will meet also my colleagues from Tel Aviv and Amman. The reason for the partnership between us, I think is about both of us trying within our different mandates to advance cooperation, to promote and protect our shared environment, and also to actually build peace. The ways and possibilities for doing so are, of course, many, and they differ from country to country, between places and over time, but often it somehow seems as if it's about finding and creating space for sharing ideas, for learning, for having an honest conversation, maybe for disagreeing or for meeting of minds. Sometimes I think it's about actually sharing a cup of tea and just getting to know each other a little bit better. And I think in this, dear EcoPeace, you have a very important role to play, and it's manifested so clearly in this conference. And I wanted to make this notion of space for sharing ideas as a theme for my very short remarks. My experiences will be from the place I know best, from Sweden. And I look forward to listen to yours later. I won't talk about all my impressions and thoughts and reflections from and on the Jordan Valley, although I have many. But I leave that to those of you who are able to do it so much better. And of course, we got a glimpse already in the video. So my remarks will center around the idea of joining forces, or the collaborative approach, as Nada mentioned in her opening remarks. So I'll share three areas where joining forces actually promotes sustainability. The first one is obvious, of course. It's between governments and the private sector. It's crucial for meeting our joint commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals, but it's also, as we heard in the movie, good for business and, of course, good for individual human beings. The Agenda 2030 needs financing, and at the same time, the SDGs can perhaps help guiding potential investors to sustainable business opportunities. And that precisely was one of the ideas when we established the Swedish Investors for Sustainable Development in 2016. It gathers some 20 of the largest Swedish financial actors, pension funds, asset managers, investment companies, and the Swedish development organization, Sida. A few years later, and partly inspired by us, we'd like to think, the UN actually launched a global version, the Global Investors for Sustainable Development. In short, 30 business giants worth $16 trillion agreeing to step up to the challenges of financing the SDGs. And maybe that's the kind of mindset we need. To stress the impact investments as key and crucial, and to also look at the need for a more sustainable financial system as a whole, to work at both macro and micro levels. Another hopefully inspiring example of public-private partnership is the fossil-free Sweden. The Swedish Parliament, the Riksdag, decided in 2017 to make Sweden carbon neutral by 2045 and to have 100% renewable energy by 2040. And this Fossil-Free Sweden initiative encourages business sectors to do their parts, actually, to draw up their own roadmaps. And it contains already a whole range of promising and successful examples of combining ambitious climate goals and ensuring and developing and strengthening competitiveness. It includes the world's greenest battery cells, the decarbonization of the steel industry, and a whole range of examples within food, mining, construction, cement industries, to name a few. My second area of joining of forces is within society, to ensure that women and men of all ages are given equal space. And my colleague in Amman, Alexandra, will talk a little bit more about involving the young population. And I won't dwell too much about the gender equality either, because I'd like to assume that by now, that's just a given. It's beyond discussion that all individuals, women and men, just have to have an equal say in the management of and sustainable use of land and biodiversity resources. And it's time to do something about that. I feel at the moment that we are, I don't know if you see the man climbing in the back of my, in the back of me, that's where I feel we are. And I would hope for this conference to commit to continue climbing and picking up the speed a little bit. Because according to the UN, and I'm sure you know all the statistics, that 39% of women currently work in agriculture, forestry, and fishery sectors, all dependent on the environment. And then at the same time, 14% of the agricultural landholders are women. Apparently 70% of the climate negotiators are men. There are loads of similar analysis and statistics. One report has been published by the Swedish Environmental Protection Agency, which is of use in their work internationally, including in its partnership with EQA in Palestine. And the third and final theme for joining forces would be across policy areas. Because while we are in the midst of a pandemic, and that's obvious to all of us, unfortunately, we're also starting to outline our recovery strategies to promote growth, competitiveness, and employment. And we need to design them in a way which is future-proof or future-oriented. To see that there's a need of recovery based on green transition, and ideally, I think, hand in hand with digital transformation. This holds tremendous opportunities, of course, including in the creation of green jobs, referred again to by Nada. And green jobs are, of course, they can be both innovative and high-tech, born out of cool young startups, but they can, of course, also, as all of us know, be sort of local ecotourism, installation of solar panels, and what have you. And if you haven't already read this study and want to read more about the potential of 24 million new jobs, but also the 1.2 billion current jobs depending on a stable and healthy environment, and I'll share a link to an ILO report in the chat box later. Nada mentioned in the beginning the EU Green Deal. For us in Sweden, that's of course a key vehicle for all our efforts. And there again, I'll share some info with you for those of you wanting to read via a link later on. There are endless other joining forces opportunities, be it sort of among researchers to ensure that we're guided by science, be it committed individuals, religious leaders, municipalities, what have you. I leave those for others to expand on. So let me instead end by stating perhaps the obvious. And that is that every country and region must, of course, find its own models. But along the lines of creating space for sharing experiences, I am really happy to share ours when it comes to policy, financing, and technology. So with that, thank you so much for listening to some ideas from up north, although conveyed from Jerusalem. And thank you so much to EcoPeace for providing the space.
Thank you very much, Nada and Consul General, for your inspiring and encouraging words in these difficult times we're in. Consul General Jessica Olusen, Sir Ronald Cohen, distinguished speakers, dear directors of EcoPeace Middle East, Nada Mashdalani, Jana Abu Taleb, Guidon Bromberg, dear friends from EcoPeace, and dear participants in the two in-person meetings we're having right now in Jordan and in Israel, as well as our participants in Palestine who are participating virtually. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to send you a very warm welcome on behalf of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung to this first day of the EcoPeace Annual Conference 2020, a year that has surely been full of professional and personal challenges for all of us. Today, though, we will start the annual conference with a more optimistic approach, not neglecting the many challenges, be they political, socioeconomic, environmental, or health-related. The aim of today's gathering of high-level experts and entrepreneurs is to support sustainable investment projects by engaging the impact investment community and by connecting possible investors with entrepreneurs in the Jordan Valley. In the framework of the Jordan Valley Master Plan developed by EcoPeace and already presented and mentioned by Nada Mashdalani. In view of the increasing scarcity of resources worldwide, particularly in the MENA region, sustainable development is crucial to ensure resource and especially food security. The Jordan Valley, as a fertile area and an important agricultural production center in the region, offers the conditions to become even more productive if such a sustainable development is promoted, thus contributing to the much needed security of supply of resources and especially food. To achieve this goal, cooperation is necessary. Cooperation between countries bordering the Jordan Valley, as well as cooperation between the private sector, public authorities, entrepreneurs, investors, civil society, and many others. But for cooperation, we need trust. And in order to build trust, we need to speak with another, we need dialogue. And this is why we're here, why we're joined together in person and virtually today and also in the 2 upcoming days. With its Jordan Valley Master Plan, already mentioned by Nada, EcoPeace Middle East has already presented a feasible option on how the Jordan Valley can be further developed. And as a long-standing cooperation partner of EcoPeace Middle East, and due to our program's focus, the regional program on energy security and climate change, North Africa, Middle East of Konrad Adenauer Foundation, we have this focus on energy security, resource security. We are more than pleased to support EcoPeace Middle East continuously, as we do today, and as we will continue in the future in order to jointly take another step towards a more sustainable development in the Jordan Valley. I'd like to keep it brief and leave more space for the other speakers, and would just like to thank again, especially to everyone, but also everyone involved to making this meeting possible. And I'm very much looking forward to all the valuable inputs and the discussions. Thank you very much.